Voice, one of the projects which is under the umbrella of iSeely, which I'm representing, which offers websites to community groups, which are very easy to develop and maintain. Birmingham has now taken this on board and is pioneering it. There are now, I understand, someone was telling me, 350 different community groups on eVoice using that technology. There are other systems out there as well for community websites, greatly to be encouraged. It doesn't always do what it's supposed to do when I press the button. Right, that's an example of one of the community websites, which is actually the Metropolitan Police Authority, which is quite a substantial organisation. Another tool, webcasting. A number of councils do that. Now, you wouldn't think there'd be many people out there who'd actually want to watch us in our meetings discussing arcane planning applications, but it's amazing the traffic they generate. The key thing is that people need to be able to pick out the bits they want to see. They don't want to sit through 2 hours of a meeting usually. They want to go back afterwards and select the bit that they want to see. Hence, the signposting on the right is really important so people can find the item that they want to see. Issues. Forums, another area, citizen-based, but where we as councillors need to be in tune with what the local population are thinking about issues and occasionally contribute to them in order, particularly providing factual background to issues. This one's in Oxford. I want to spend a little bit of time talking about our presence on websites and blogs as councillors. This is an example of a website for a councillor which is held on the council website. Using one of the standard schemes that there are available to the local authority. And I just want to draw your attention to this, the acceptable use policy around that particular site. What it says very clearly is that the site cannot be used for the promotion of any political party or campaigning organisation, and it cannot be used for personal campaigns. And that is actually the problem that exists with having a councillor's website held on a council resource. There are very strong limitations to it. And you will have heard me, some of you before, saying very strongly that I believe that we should be, as councillors, should have independent websites or blogs as a form of a website in which we can be what we are, which is politicians campaigning for our residents. And so a little bit now, actually, which is going to focus on my blog, because obviously I have easy access to that. Just to point out that in that context, this is based on what was launched as the Read My Day project, which has been redeveloped now as Blog in a Box, and you can find information about that on the table at the back. On my blog, and I can be as independent as I like, I can say what I want, I can be political. Obviously, I'm still subject to the elements of the Code of Conduct about acting in a becoming manner as a councillor, but I'm not limited by the use of council resources. And there are a number of different tools around now that allow people to create blogs or create websites with blogging elements within them. Some of the political party offer these tools, and there are others out there that you can use for that purpose. So I know we'll be looking at the Councillor 2.0 project in a bit later on, but just some thoughts of my own about what we can use a blog for. This is me being political. It's about the London mayoral campaign. We can use blogs to provide information. This one's about a particular issue that we have with a road where there's been some accidents, about the ability to recycle cartons. So I often use it as an opportunity to get information out to residents. I can do opinion pieces. which obviously are pretty political most of the time. That one's about the 10p rate, and this one last year was about planning decisions being decided in Bristol, but nothing to do with Bristol Council. So. Some news items, opening of a new school, who the new mayor is. Lots of people were asking me who the new mayor was, so I put his picture up. And, last summer, this was very interesting. The BBC had announced that there was a scare, a foot and mouth scare, at Chessington World of Adventures, which is just down the road from me. It's in the next ward. And I picked this up, condensed the information, put it up on my blog. It turned out that because it was happening, no, that didn't happen at the weekend, the council didn't put anything up, and I was highly critical of this. I think there should have been something immediately on the council website. There wasn't. I found all the traffic was coming to me. So if you Googled foot and mouth Chessington, you got my blog. So I turned out to be the main giver of information about that, and all I was doing was transmitting effectively what was on the council website, on the BBC website, and also from what I'd communications with Chessington World of Adventures about what was happening. Luckily, it turned out to be a full scare, but it was quite interesting how that focused, and my visitor rate soared for a few days.